I sat down with the owner of the largest personal collection of comic books in the world, but he's no ordinary comic book nerd. He's also an LGBTQ icon. Hey y'all, I'm Robbie Couch, and my videos are almost as gay as I am. I take my everyday, random life experiences as an LGBTQ person and use them to highlight bigger issues affecting the queer community. So if you're into gay stuff, you better subscribe. Also, a super quick note, if you guys have been watching the channel the past couple weeks, you know that I'm running a Pride Series giveaway contest this month. I'm super stoked, but you gotta wait until the end of the video to hear all the contest rules and what you could win. So keep watching, stay tuned. On this week's episode of Queers Doing Cool Things, I talked to Chuck, who is the owner of Mile High Comics. Chuck told me that he has over 10 million copies of comics, which, walking into the space, I totally believe. It's like this massive warehouse that's just like packed with really super cool stuff. Even for a person like me that's not super into comics, I walked into his space, into his store, and I was freaking blown away. Like, it is insane, you guys. But even cooler than the store itself is the fact that Chuck is a drag queen, Miss Bettie Pages. And Chuck also hosts family-friendly drag events for kids at his store on the weekends. So kids of all ages can come out and express themselves and perform in drag, and even straight kids and cisgender kids can come out and do drag themselves. It's like such a cool event. I'm so excited for you guys to learn more. Here's Chuck's story. So when did you first start getting into comics?
About 1959, actually. I was 4 years old, and my mom was a paymaster at the Post Exchange in Frankfurt, Germany. She used to take me to work with her, and I couldn't read or speak English at that time, but I could hang out by the comic book spin rack all day, and I loved looking through the comics. That was the one kind of familiar thing. You know, going from Germany in 1959, that was a very much of a cultural shift. I own more comic books than anyone on this planet. There might be somebody on another planet that's got more, but here, I'm the dog. I think that the crossover between comics and drag is huge. A lot of comic fans, again, it goes back to that childhood alienation and wanting that escapism and wanting to live in the kind of a world of fantasy. Well, then you start getting kids that are kind of like in that same world too, and they're looking for an outlet and an escape.
Tell me about Drag for All Ages.
I tell people that it's become the most important 3 hours of my month, and I really mean that in all sincerity. The youngest that we've had has been about 7 years old.
Okay.
And you know, you get somebody who's 6 or 7 and they're doing My Hippopotamus. I mean, it's kind of fun.
Oh, that's cute.
I mean, it's just cute.
Yeah.
But our average age is about 16, 17.
Okay.
I've seen so many young people who have been bullied and who feel oppressed and are really hurting. And what we provide is an environment where those young people can come together and they can be who they are with absolutely no judgment, no question. I mean, it's just a show. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like going to a high school play, except that we wear feathers and glitter.
Right. A little more extravagant.
Yeah. This is a great gown, but the underskirt is about that much too long, and I almost died going up the stairs. It was like,
oh my God.
I did Captain America. I actually did a zip line from the second floor. I did it right onto the stage. Boom, nailed it. Oh, it was scary.
Yeah,
flying down on a zip line with no safety harness.
What was the coming out experience like for you personally? And when did you come out?
Well, you know, that's what's really strange is that I only came out about a year ago, but I went into, started going into drag bars about 10 years ago, and have been involved with the Imperial Court of the Rocky Mountain Empire for about 8 years. But then I had a conversation with an Empress of the Imperial Court who I really respect, And she said, Betty, you really gotta stop hiding. It doesn't matter. If your customers are gonna quit, they're gonna quit. But she said, I don't think they will, because I think they love you and I think they'll stay with you. And just to give you a case in point, here at this store, yeah, our sales were up 62% last month. So somebody's buying from us, and you know, the ones who aren't, love you, bye. I tell people that I'm on a journey, and in that journey, I'm increasingly allowing Betty to speak for me. She makes me much happier than Charles, because I built this by being fierce. I have people that help me with my makeovers still. I'm pretty good at foundation and the basics, but there's a moment in time, especially when my eyes get done and I'll look in the mirror and it's like, hello, hi, we're home.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm back, and it's like I feel so good. And it's liberating, because the minute that I'm Betty, there's no longer any expectation that I'm gonna be Mr. Corporate, you know, aggressive guy anymore.
If you had to give advice to a young person who's thinking they might be non-binary or transgender and they're really struggling with their identity, what advice would you give that young person?
First and foremost, ignore anyone and everyone around you, because at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, when you're on your deathbed and you're sitting there, do not put yourself in a position of wishing that you would have had the courage to be who you really are. And that is really what it boils down to. Be true to yourself first and foremost, and then let the chips fall as they may. You know, there are costs to coming out, but there's also a cost right here in your heart of not being true to yourself.
Chuck is the coolest person ever. I love them to death. I had so much fun chatting with Chuck and exploring Mile High Comics. The fact that Chuck does the family-friendly drag event on the weekends, there would never have been an event like that in my hometown growing up, and the fact that we're here now in a place where these events can happen is the coolest thing ever. So thank you, Chuck, for letting me take over Mile High Comics and share your story with the world. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm super excited to share the details on the Pride Pack contest that Views from the Couch is throwing this month in honor of Pride. We're giving away a bunch of free stuff. I'm super stoked. I'm not only stoked about the items themselves, but they all give back to the LGBTQ community in some way, shape, or form. So here's the scoop. The first thing you could win is this Home and Go portable charger by MyCharge. It's obviously Pride themed. It's super dope, super useful. These things have saved my life before when I've run out of battery. And it's really, really cool because a portion of the proceeds are benefiting the Trevor Project, which is an LGBTQ nonprofit that helps queer youth who are in crisis. Then we have this rainbow striped shirt from Express. It's super cool. I'll probably buy one myself. The shirt is part of Express's Love Unites campaign, which is giving 25% of the proceeds from each item sold, each Pride item sold, towards GLAAD, which is an LGBTQ advocacy group. Then we have this amazing Pride shaving kit from Harry's, which I adore. You have the rainbow razor. How cute is that? Last but not least, we have this shirt, this magical, magical shirt that I adore. It's from Target. It's badass. It needs to be included in your wardrobe ASAP. Target, or Target as I like to call them, has partnered with Gleason and donating $100,000 towards the LGBTQ nonprofit, which is focused on making schools inclusive for queer students. So here's how you can enter the contest and win all of this amazing stuff. First, you have to be subscribed to the channel, so hit that subscribe button. You gotta be a subscriber to Views from the Couch to win. Sorry guys, you're stuck with me. If you want these items, you're stuck with me. Then make sure you comment below and explain what Pride means to you. It's a pretty open-ended question. You can go any direction you want. Just make sure there's no profanity and it's not R-rated. But anything other than that, explain what Pride means to you. And that's it. That's all you need to do to officially enter the contest. The contest itself will run throughout the month of June, so make sure to subscribe before the end of the month. You should do it right now. Comment below, and then a winner will be announced in a video here on Views from the Couch that will air on Tuesday, July 16th. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to enter the contest, and I will see you back next Tuesday here on Views from the Couch. Have a good one.